Hello everyone, hello and welcome. Brian here for Ginger Prime, and we're going to be continuing our story into Endwalker today. We are post first trial. We have been introduced to the beautiful moon bunnies in this case, and while I typically have a precursor video that goes right before this, I do kind of have a hard stop coming up here in a couple of hours, so I just want to make sure I could get as much game time in. If you guys caught the last stream, you'll know exactly kind of what's going on here. Ultimately, I'm been blown away by the story, the experience so far, and I just want to continue to push forward a little bit more. We might have a couple of smaller streams as I kind of get some opportunities to play, and I'm going to take them because right now I'm able to log in pretty frequently, which is actually quite nice and is a nice big change. But without further ado, guys, all right, let's go ahead and jump in. All's Vale that ends Vale. Oh man, the localization team continues to knock it out of the park. It may not seem like it, but we've been planning on this for far longer than I'd care to admit. Each time we woke up, we'd have long discussions about how to save as many as you as we can. Felt like everyone had an opinion on this or that. But the one thing that we could all agree upon was that the people of Aetheris wouldn't take action to save themselves until it was far too late. That's why we're striving to make the moon a vibrant and magical place that they'd hop on any chance to visit, rather than waiting for the flames of oblivion to get them off their tails and force them to accept our invitation. The residential quarters may not be up to the necessary standards just yet, but there are plenty of other places worth seeing. You've already had a look around the Curatorium, but wait until you see what's waiting for you at the east of the borough. Follow me. What's up, Dean? What's up, Mirabelle? To the east. I'm gonna guess, I'm thinking down, but either way, we'll find out. How y'all doing today? Oh man, I'm having a great day. Made my kids like a pancake breakfast, and that went really well. We played trains. I'm gonna go ahead and jump down because I think that's where I need to be. Boom. Yeah, we played trains, and then we actually just sat down and watched the Sonic movie. I hadn't seen it yet, but I watched it with the kids. Mwah. Oh man, that movie, incredible. Good, you're here. Through this door is the greatest Endvale. It was named as such as the Vale of all to end all Vales, the most beautiful forest that you'll ever see. We understand the people of Aetheris enjoy taking leisurely walks through natural spaces and the like, so I'm sure that you'll enjoy it. How about we start with a nice stroll to the fountain? This way. A forest. Interesting. Okay. So far, blown away by both the music, the scale, and the visuals of the moon. What's behind door number 1? Lots of crystals. Okay. All right. Oh, okay, here's the forest. Fascinating. I was they said natural, and I was like, oh, have they replicated the forest? It's a very artificial forest. But I love the colors. I love the roads. Like every good forest, they got some apparently robot bunnies right there. All right. I thought I was, oh, actually, this is a beautiful fountain. So what do you think of the forest? Isn't it positively pleasant? Simply sublime? I couldn't see any forest or the trees. Hey, Megan, how you doing? You're pulling my tail. You're in the forest right now. Building this place was a challenge, let me tell you. Since we were born here, we'd never seen trees in person before, let alone a forest. And the information sent by our collaborators was quite enlightening, but after much deliberation, we decided to use crystalline constructs in place of living trees. And thanks to our atmospheric circulation system, this place produces air as clean as you'd find in the forest on Aetheris. The fountain here behind us, powers by the rather large crystal adorning its top, played a vital role in supplying fresh water. That's really cool. Much time and effort was spent in making the most spherical of spheres, and I dare say an unparalleled roundness speaks for itself. Lazy, what's up, dude? I enjoy nothing more than a nice long stretch and a spot of relaxation whenever I come up here. You look like you could do with the stretch yourself. Do a big stretch. Okay. Did I spell it right? I probably didn't. Strecetch. Yeah. I was like, wait a minute. I'm going to get tripped up here. The Vale to end all Vales. The Aurum Vale. That's the spirit I feel to relax simply by watching you. A slight worth in my many years spent building this place. Hey, Adrian. If it's not too much to ask, it's always been a dream of mine to take a walk through the forest with someone from Aetheris. Could we maybe? All right. Oh, it's a company mission. You will. Oh, by still my quivering whiskers. Okay, they're gonna walk with me through the forest. This was a particularly hard quest line to do last night for the moon, especially after everything building up to Zodiark. And I'm like, and then it's like, here I am late night getting actually into queue. And then it's like, oh, just hanging out with these bunnies. And I was like, okay, I think I need to get some sleep. I was thinking, Bryn, but that I could be more helpful to you by teaching you a little more about the moon and what it is we do. When we were first created, the moon's sole purpose was to hold Zodiark, and there was absolutely nothing to be found here. Eventually, Heidelin came to give us our first task: furnish the moon with propulsion systems capable of facilitating travel to other stars. It sounds impressive, and I suppose in some respects it is, but it was only possible thanks to the knowledge Heidelin shared with us. We also had a lot of time to get it done. 6,000 years, give or take. So we know we have a 12,000 years, and then I guess essentially 6,000 years. Fascinating. Okay. But anyway, let's keep it going. So he was in prison, and then she's like, oh, okay. Over the course of the 6,000 years prior to this, before she starts trying to create Plan B. That's what a couple of people, and I'm trying to obviously like to not try to like over predict or overhype myself one way or the other. But yeah, people were like, this was a nice breath of fresh air before what happens. Anyway, let's keep it going. And continuing on. If you look over to your left, you'll see some scrappers. Just doing what they do best. Discovered a new location. This may come as a surprise, but we didn't really begin building the habitable areas until after the propulsion systems were ready. Considering how long it took, I wish we'd started sooner. Who would have thought that we needed 4,000 years to make all this? It certainly wasn't work to dare rush either. We had to create infrastructure and countless supporting systems, some of which wouldn't be operational until hundreds of years later. And then there was the brief period where our productivity came to a screeching halt when that bizarre red satellite was sent up from Aetheris, the Algian's mischief, I think. We thought maybe some new nefarious actor was colluding with Zodiark. All we could do was stand by and brace ourselves for the worst. I can't tell you how relieved we were to see Heidelin informed us that of its destruction. Oh yes, there was a much joyous humming that day. Hey Phantom, what's going on, JP? Happy moon tour to you all. Say, do you notice anything particular about these treetops? I mean, apart from the fact that they're massive crystals and not trees. They look like eggs. I'll give you a hint. It's a golden ring emulating from the golden spheres. Okay. Along with the device fixed near the ceiling, they fulfill a role similar to our sun, and do so better even. The sun and similar celestial objects in the great expanse radiate energy that is harmful to your bodies. These rings shield you from the energy while allowing you to breathe in the perfect amount of sunlight, or rather, a close approximation of it. Pretty impressive, wouldn't you say? Oh, and if you look closely, you'll see different types of trees have ever so slightly different curvature. Yes, indeed, this forest is truly the greatest. It's the perfect minion. It's the perfect minion for the occasion. There was something else I wanted to tell you about. Oh, right. The propulsive systems and habitat facilities were completed around 2,000 years ago, and with that, the most important features were fit to purpose, which was all well and good, except that we still knew absolutely nothing about present-day peoples of Theris. Why not go and visit Theris yourself, you might ask? Strictly forbidden. Were our technology or knowledge of the moon's true purpose exploited for evil ends, the results could be disastrous. Then there was a few more rejoinings, and it became increasingly difficult to converse with Hydaelyn. Fearful that we may lose the ability to communicate with her altogether, we beseeched her to find people on Theris that we could trust for help. We were quite fortunate, everything worked out as it did. Thanks guys for being here, I appreciate y'all. With the exception of routine inspections and maintenance, we remained asleep and waited, hopeful Hydaelyn would find someone who could help us. Eventually she did, and through her power was waning, we were able to speak with them directly for a short while. We shared with them everything we could, including the knowledge of the heavens and the means to travel here to the moon. Oh my gosh, yeah. They certainly didn't waste any time with what we taught them. No more than a few years after that, our collaborators found a means to convey messages and supplies to us from down below. With all the letters, books, and other resources they sent, we learned enough to start making more meaningful changes to the moon. And now you're here, hopefully enjoying yourself as much as I am. Hey, Music Mirror, saying, hey Brian, I'm new here to 14 as a WoW refugee and new to your channel, but it has been such a helpful resource. Also, you have a chill voice. Hopefully you're loving the story. Welcome to Final Fantasy XIV. Like, when it comes down, just like as an FYI, as an aside to the story that I'm experiencing, I just want to say my heartfelt, condolences, especially with all that is going on with Blizzard. You know, like, just putting myself in your shoes, like, that sucks. And you're obviously, I'm just happy you're here. And if there's anything you need, you just let us know. This should be hopefully a fun and great experience. I can definitely be on the critiquing side of the game and the community too. So hopefully, hopefully you feel like you're comfortable with sharing all your thoughts, both positive and negative. Like, everybody's welcome here. So welcome to Final Fantasy, welcome to the channel. And man, I'm sorry about WoW, like legitimately am. All right, I'm gonna continue on, but before I do, Phantom Evil was 7 months at that tier 1. Thank you so much, Phantom. For me and Julie, we couldn't do this stuff without you, so thank you. All right, I knew it would be like the greatest Endvale. I knew it. And thank you then for coming here. And by the way, I know it was just a walk through the forest, but it meant a lot to me. Hey, all right. What's up, team? There you are. I take it you already received the Grand Tour. A shame we missed it. Growing Way? I've been looking for all over for you. Oh, is this about the teleporter to the residential area? No, never mind that. We have more pressing matters at hand. I will be calling an emergency meeting shortly, and your attendance is required. Really? I can't imagine why you'd need me here or there. Both words will work in this case. But if you insist. We won't be away long, so you are all more than welcome to continue looking about the burrow. Now come along, Growing Way. Oh, dude. Phantom, thank you so much. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Thank you. Before we arrived, you seemed to be in the midst of a rousing conversation with your guide. Did you learn anything from more of import? Like a ton. Like a literal ton. So much exposition. So many questions are being answered right now. They spent 12,000 years preparing for this? Yes and no, Thancred. 6,000. And then it took them about 4,000 years to build the propulsion systems. Oy. With that appointed hour fast approaching, I can certainly understand their restlessness, but still, it remains to be seen if the people can be persuaded to evacuate when there are no signs of the final days. What's more, the technology of this place defies imagination. I doubt there are going to be many who would readily come to terms with living in such surroundings. Whoever these collaborators are, unless they possess the world's most charming personalities or a means to forcibly evacuate people, they will meet a great deal of resistance. Indeed, even if we face annihilation, the decision to forestall all one knows can be made lightly. That's good to hear music. Forgive me, friends, but I must beg your leave. There's another matter which yet begs mine attention. Of course, we can accompany you if you like. Nay, I will not be necessary, if you'll excuse me. Tis clear now the difficult decision lies ahead of us. Preparation for the evacuation of Aetheris is indeed crucial, but I am more than not yet willing to forsake our world and its reflections, and I trust that I am not alone in my recital. In all's Vale that ends Vale, quest complete. Ooh. We got some banner art, people. Back to the old tricks. What is going on with Orange? Dear Ertlanger, so as a side, guys, welcome to the channel. Just as like a part of like my inability to read occasionally through my like severe dyslexia, in 1.0 when they introduced the pronunciation is Orange, when they introduced him, like he was this mysterious, like, you know, Ascian, what's going on, like this, you know, Archon, not Ascian, excuse me, Archon, da 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 da. Well, we didn't have it voiced. I never heard his name completely like pronounced, and so I would always call him Ertlanger. Did Ertlanger seem strange to you, more so than usual, I mean? Man, it's been a long time. I've been with this game for a long time. I know he has a penchant for keeping his own counsel, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried. Would you go and see if he's all right? Y'shtola and I will remain here and see what else we can learn about the final days. If you hurry, perhaps you can catch up to him. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Oh, good. There we go. Let's hop on our trusty steed. Let me just get this. Yep, there we go. Discovering these locations. Oh, dude. Oh, I love the freaking Final Fantasy IV callback. We will be doing a Final Fantasy IV playthrough on this channel. I just don't know when. I've been kind of bouncing around two ideas. So in case you guys want to weigh in, I'm thinking essentially about either doing it just in my, you know, for me at some point once there's a lot of gaming goals I've got, and I don't try to put timelines on them because I don't think games should be a pressure driven, you know, thing. But I do want to play through Final Fantasy IV. It was the Final Fantasy I fell in love with. That's why I'm playing Endwalker. If I didn't fall in love with 4, I doubt I would be playing Final Fantasy today. But then that's kind of just propelled me through all the rest of them. And all of them are just incredible, but I just like, but 4 was just that moment for me. Anyway, so then the eye side is like, I want to sit down and play with Maddie. Like I'm trying to remember how old I was when I played 4. I think it was probably around 10, so I'm probably gonna wait for her to be a couple years. So maybe I'll do one for me, and then I'll start taking her through all the Final Fantasies. There he goes. Oriange appears to be heading towards an entrance of the best way burrow. Let's see here. Uber danger. Wait, I beg you. What's going on? Oh, nope, this way. Aha, destination. Oh, there's our good boy. There goes. Oriange ventures off into Marilatorium. For reasons unknown, you must tread carefully as he might sense your presence. Another sneaking mission. Interesting. Follow Oriange from a safe distance. The objective will fail if you are noticed, or if you fall to behind. Should you fail to complete this objective, you may try again by returning to the starting destination. Can I crouch and go prone? Argos, good boy. Who's a good boy? Hmm? 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 Hey, just do, if you do the server command, it should give you all of our information where we play games. Red. Yeah, I know we won the Best Ongoing Game award, but where's our Dadgum Music Award? Rigged, I say. Oh. Who's there? Who might be there? Thanks, Chili. Oh yeah, he's picking up the pace. I can sprint. And now he's going for a little stroll. Little stroll. Oh! Oh, he's going for it. My sprint just wore off too. Oh, he's a genius. The genius. Don't get too far. Not yet ready. Aha, I did it. I'm good at video games. Nay, I'm the best at video games.
Thine arrival is timely as ever. Thou didst chance to overhear my conversation with Living Way, I presume?
You presume correctly.
'Twas not mine intent to move in shadow. Nevertheless, I have been asked to do that and more yet again. Is it so plain that these strangers could intuit it at a glance? My capacity for silence and secrecy and duplicity?
Love this connection back to, like, so good.
And Grahatir did contrive to deliver the first at the price of his own life. I was complicit in the scheme. A sacrifice averted for a mercy. Would that I could say the same for Menphilia. One life for one world. And by that bloody bargain brokered by my hand were the scions robbed of a dear comrade, and Flamine her beloved daughter. Two souls, whose selflessness was beyond measure, whose resolve was unshakable. They would not be moved even had I thought to protest. But protest I did not. Far from it. I pushed them forward. No effort did I make to seek out alternatives, ones that would not demand such terrible costs. That resignation weigheth heavy on my mind, as does the memory of another lost to mine inaction. Dearest Moonbringer, who did face death unflinching, that we might secure a means to bring low the Ascians. In her hour of need, I did naught. Dutiful disciple of Louisoix, ever looking to the greater good. Had I shut mine eyes and bid her live instead, mayhap she would be with us today.
He's been carrying that all this time.
Selfish wants born of everlasting regrets. Most days I put them from my mind, but could think of naught else when asked to swallow the same bitter draught. Subterfuge and sacrifice. Mayhap the right moral choice, but one I regard with great trepidation. The calamity of Amarot was a tragedy beyond reckoning, one which must never again come to pass. Thus must we struggle, haunted by ghosts of those we have lost, clinging to those we pray we can yet save. But what of those we cannot? How do we make peace with the dreadful algebra of necessity?
Sometimes there's no right answer. Have faith in yourself and your decisions. Take heart and protect those well whose you can. What that we would have time to weigh the cost. Have faith. Hey, what's going on, Aaron?
Sage counsel indeed.
What's up, X? Hey, Varix, how you been, bud?
I see. Wisdom as befits a great worm. Curious that he should think thee in need of such encouragement. Strange. Scarcely can I remember when last we spoke alone, and so candidly. I thank thee. For all my supposed skill with words, I find it difficult to express such private thoughts. As for the Loporrit's proposition, I will take time and consider how to respond. 'Twould be to our mutual benefit if we could converse more openly with our aspiring caretakers. A concern I should be glad to address on the Scion's behalf. To dispense with all pretense and bare one's heart to another is a frightening thing indeed. But we cannot move forward ere we take that bold first step. A lesson I have learned many times before. And today.
What are they saying? Curse these ears! I've heard bugger all! No matter. We've got our plans.
Okay. All right. What's going on, Rich? How you doing, bud? In truth, my reason for traveling hither was to effect a plan of my own. A plan which may pave the way forward for us all. May, I say, there are no guarantee of success. 'Tis the reason I set out alone. That failure, should it come, would be mine to bear alone. Yet thou sattest before me with proffered hand and open heart. 'Twould be remiss of me to refuse thy almighty amtele, and so I ask, wouldst thou join me in my endeavor? Yeah, joining the Ertlinger endeavor. Hey, what's going on, SK Bridge? What's up, Ryan? How you been, dude? What's going on, Angry Cupcake Marco? If I haven't said hi to you guys, just, I apologize. You can always tag Ed Ginger Prime like Ryan just did. Helps pop up on the screen a little bit brighter. Setting things straight. I thank thee for accompanying me. 'Tis a simple plan in truth. We shall not be a long way from Bestway Burrow. Difficult decisions must needs be made in the coming days, but I nevertheless believe we are all of one mind in our desire to save the people of Aetheris. To make clear our resolve to the Loporrit's, I would offer them a gift, but its making doth require a more singular ingredient. Still working on the pronunciation of the little bunny people. The Loporits, Loporits. I'll get it. I'll get it. The more I hear it, the better I'll be. Ah, an abundance of spongi. Excellent. A chance to spy an aggression which crossing Zodiark's erstwhile prison. Using a spell taught to me my new mo, I believe these shall suffice with a gift that would fashion. The magic required considerable concentration, however, might I prevail upon these to stand which... Oh, excuse me. To stand watch whilst I perform the incantation. I'll go stand over here at the destination that tells me there's going to be a battle. You know what? You know what would really start tripping me up is like when we start unwriting the laws of nature. Like that would essentially be the laws change. That means sparkly, like nothing bad's happening to you. Like those geniuses. They subvert my expectations all the time. There we go. Oh yeah, more. Oh, another one. There we go. Now we raid at the safe sparkly destination. You're Loporits, but you're from West Virginia, so you turn that into a 3-syllable. He remains fixated on his work. Loporits. There, 'tis done. In Magitech ink, every ounce has been efficacious with crafted by the new Mo. Rare is the occasion I would conjure mine own, but it is nevertheless the most useful skill. The resulting product is admittedly proposed of no pre-natural properties, but its hue is one of mind of my own choosing, which I prayeth the Loporits will appreciate. Bryn, Oriange, thank goodness, I thought you had been eaten, or had perhaps fallen into the crater. Yashel has been looking all over for you, Bryn. She says that she needs to speak with you about something most urgent. Dire, even. She was also quite clear that she wishes to speak with Bryn alone, which means I'm afraid you must stay behind, Oriange. But do not worry, as it so happens I need your help with an errand delivering a package from the Watcher's Palace to Bestway Burrow. It's quite large and heavy, and perhaps even too heavy for us poor Loporits, and we would be ever so grateful if you could lend us a hand. Well, I suppose I should be along then. How about an extra pair of hands before we go meet with Y'shtola? No, that won't be necessary. Oriange's help should be more than sufficient. I am sure that he doesn't want to risk settling Y'shtola's bad side by keeping her waiting. She seems prickly. Now, off with you. Worry not, Bryn. I shan't be long. One second. All right. Oh, rock. Boop, boop. Oh, Aether Current. Gotta collect all the wind greeny balls. Go. Attunement. Perfect. All right, now. Where is Y'shtola? Oh, right there. Well, you know what? Why not? Why not spend a little bit of this gil? Save us a little bit of damn. Okay. Alright, perfect. place is so massive and impressive. Like it is really, it is. I love the moon. I love the moon, guys. Oh, okay, fine. Okay. Oh, because I'm mounted. Just make sure because. Oop. Patharan. Oh, that looks cool. That looks really nice. Quite pleased with that setup. Oh, Britain, we thought we would be away for far longer. A dire emergency, I said no such thing, but alas, you are here. I could use your assistance with one small matter. Running Way, a companion of Growing Ways, apparently has much to tell us about the final days. The problem, however, is that he determined to live up to his name, refusing to stay still long enough for us to hold a conversation. Is there anywhere he's likely to stop and rest, or perhaps there's a way to slow him down? What's the rush? I was thinking we should wait here, maybe enjoy a cold mug of carrot juice, and no? Well, if it's really that important, we can try to use these things, balls, of moose flesh, not to be confused with the other thing. Running Way's other notable feature is that incessant chatter, so you'll have no trouble finding him in a crowd, and when you do, try lobbing your balls at him. Crude, but if it proves effective, then here's the greatest Endvale. When last I saw him, let's split up and find him. All right, running's way. Aether curtain, top of the stairs to the west. Thank you. Oh. Oh, that's smart. This was meant to be a joke. It isn't funny. Got him. Oh, you got through the first of the five? 5 of the 6? Nice. Yes, I am running away. Do you mind explaining why you hit me in the face with your balls of moose flesh? ... I'm highly knowledgeable about the final days. Ha, that is the most ridiculous thing I've heard since I woke up. Who told you that joke? As if I've got time to look into the final days when I've got so much to do before the great voyage. It's true that Heidelin did impart me with some knowledge of the event, but I know about as much as any operator around here, less probably. I don't know exactly why one would think it's funny to go around telling people I'm an expert, but they better hope I don't get my paws on them. Sorry I couldn't be more help, but there's nothing else. I've work to do. And I'm off. Here. All right. Yeah, first playthrough, guys. I could neither hide nor find neither hide nor hair of him. How did you fare? So he knows no more than the others. Care to explain yourself, Growing's Way? Well, you see, I I misremembered. Yes, that's it. I misremembered. Terribly sorry about all that. I'm afraid I'm drawing a blank, though. Try as I might, I can't remember who I was thinking of. On an unrelated note, what of Oriange? I assume you spoke with him earlier, but what did he say when when he'll be returning? On his way to the Watcher's Palace with Living's Way. Between Growing Way's sudden lapse of memory and our lack of other leads, maybe it's time we better spend lending Oriange a hand. But what? Oh no, hold on a moment. It's all coming back to, yes, I remember. The information you're looking for is in the archives. Yes, that's where you'll find all sorts of useful knowledge, including that pertaining to the final days. There we go. Perfect. Excellent. Easy breezy. Oh yeah, this is finishing the zone off. This is going to finish the zone off and heart of the matter. So I guess, man, if this is the moon story, we're putting this one to bed. Oh, what to do? I promised Living Way I would help, but no, I promised I'd help. So that's what I'll do. The archives are on the second floor of the main plaza, the eastern wing. Follow me. Oh, silly yawns, man. I suspect the Loprits are up to something, but if there is aught to be learned in the final days, I think it's best we play along for now at least. Bum 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 bum. Angry British chipmunk. Oh, and now we're starting to see all these little quests pop in. Mopping Way. Boop boop boop. Yeah, these bunnies are sus. What's going on, bunnies? Wait. Oh no. I thought that was just like one of those like Kyoko porters or something. Oh, he's upstairs. Got it. And I don't think I can actually get up there from here. That means I gotta go all the way over there. Knocking Way. Sus bunnies, cousin to the dust to the dust bunnies. Oh, well played. The archives are right through this door, but it seems to be locked. I guess you'll have to go and find whoever has the key. Hey, babe. Growing Way, enough. If you have not to tell us of the final days, then you only need to say so. We can ill afford to be wasting time here, as you know well. Did you yourselves not tell us we must act quickly? Yeah, I told you I was when you called me. I said yes. Yes, but we did but. The moon was to be a perfect paradise for the people of Aetheris, and we're running out of time to make everything ready for their arrival. We hope that we'd see the wonders you have to offer, but you found nothing but faults and flaws in our work. Only one of you saw the potential, so you must be kept here. All right, sorry, I'm back. Oh, so that Living Ways game run us about in circles and failing that lock us away, so we put the plan at risk. Everyone except Oriange. I'll take it you get all the currents. I do, but I usually do it right after I finish this, like the main MSQ. I might do it whenever I'm like playing and I'm not, because like I was like, I'm gonna stream the whole story. So like if I get on, you know, at late at night and I'm not gonna stream, I might like go and like knock him out in the zones or something, you know, like there's plenty of things for me to do in the game. He understands what is at stake and must be done, and what must be done. I fear you've misjudged us. Growing way, never have we desired the notion of using the moon as a means of escape. That said, my heart breaks at the thought of abandoning Aetheris and her reflections to their doom. If there's a way to avert the final days, I wish to find it. We all do. We may fail, but our efforts would never be at the expense of your plans. But why would you take that risk? There's no room for ifs and maybes now. The people of Aetheris will escape here to the moon. They'll be safe and we'll finally get to see all their happy, smiling faces. I'm sorry, but we can't let you leave. We just can't. Yeah, that's right. Do what you must. Try not to hurt them. I'll be back in a moment. Don't do anything rash while I'm gone. Oh, heck yeah. Let's do it. If we dally, they'll overwhelm us with sheer numbers. I say we knock these ones out, split up, and make our way to the exit. Agreed. Let us reconvene where Eros was outside. All right. Keep it together. Keep it together. Time for a little bit of combat. Oh, reinforcements. The growing way returns to stop me. Will he come in? Will he come into the field? There we go. Oh, Grungway's got a little. He's got a little bit more chops than the rest. Bosom Buddies is almost complete. All right, what do they need? Speak with your Stola. Where's she? Okay, she's out there. Let's go. I know, right? Like. Like, don't hurt him. It's like, don't hurt them. Like, I'm trying not to hurt you guys. Like, two people in a fight absolutely trying not to hurt the, like, actually fight the other people. Oh, I missed it. Oh, I thought I was hoping I could land that. Let's stick that landing. Let's go. That's a pretty cool, that's a smart idea. I don't know, like a part of me is just like, I'm really just enjoying the story more as a focus, kind of like, yeah, you know, imagine not being able to fly right now. Don't let Peter see this. They're beating up imaginary bunny people. All right, let's go, Argos. Good, you're here. We must hurry to the Watcher's Palace and find Orianche.
And what, pray tell, do we seek at the Watcher's Palace?
Oh, come off it, friend. You know full well why we're here. The time has come for you to return to Aetheris and help your brethren prepare for their journey here and beyond.
Forgive me, Living Way, but I cannot in good conscience proceed with this plan.
Huh? But what about the final days? The death and the doom? Oh, we have to hurry before it's too late!
Your unflagging commitment to your duty is endearing, to say the least.
Oh, bugger!
Be at ease. They bear you no grudge, nor do I. How could we, having come to understand your purpose? For millennia, you and yours worked tirelessly towards the singular purpose of this heavenly vessel's construction. An arduous feat by any measure. 'Tis clear you have spared no effort. Why, your very names are a testament to your dedication.
Our names? I'm not sure I understand what you're getting at.
Names are an expression of the self, a declaration of one's hopes and aspirations. Your use of contemporary, uncomplicated nomenclature doth ensure clarity of purpose. There can be no doubt that your love for the people of Aetheris is boundless and pure.
Yes! Yes! A most mellifluous phrasing! We Loperids were born of Heideland's love for Aetheris. That shining, shimmering blue jewel, brightest star in the sky, brimming with life and possibilities. For as long as I can remember, I've toiled in anticipation of the day when this vessel might be needed. All I've ever wanted was to meet those she cherished so dearly, to serve and serve well. That goes for all of us, don't you see? So help us. Help us help them. Lead them here where we can keep them safe. If there's anything wrong with what we've built, we'll fix it. We'll make it right.
Your works want not for repair. Yet there remaineth much for you to learn of men, and your own kin besides. Singing Way, thy name bespeaketh more than the simple marriage of rhythm and rhyme. The songs of Aetheris are beyond counting, and span the length and breadth of emotion. Maps are monuments to man's pioneering spirit, and his devotion to charting the furthest reaches of our star. Many have devoted their lifetimes to exploratory pursuits, to venture unto the highest mountains and the deepest oceans in search of unknown frontiers. And thou, my friend, I do not think we've met.
My name is Pudding Way.
Oh, the best one yet.
Pudding Way? Yes, indeed. A name of deep and abiding significance, I'm sure, but one perhaps better communicated through delicious deeds than tasteless words. A judicious application of fey magics at a later juncture may be appropriate. And Living Way. 'Tis no easy feat to convey the significance of thy moniker. When I was a bookish boy, A dear friend of mine was fond of peppering me with questions as I read, to my occasional annoyance. One day, I posed to her a question of mine own. What does it mean to live? After much contemplation, she proffered this answer. The anticipation of a half-read story's conclusion. The hope today's mistake may serve as tomorrow's lesson. The wish that a new acquaintance may one day call thee friend. She believed it to be all these moments and more.
I want to understand, but...
I, too, still labor to find mine own answer. 'Twould be my pleasure to assist you and yours in embarking on a journey of self-discovery and enlightenment. For thee. Ink as blue as the waters of Aetheris. Made in haste, though I assure thee, the quality has not suffered for it. The people need not be persuaded by honeyed words. Nay, I have faith they shall do what is right in due course. Until they do, I beg your patience, friends. And with that ink, let us fill the empty pages of Living Way's compendium. An open exchange of ideas will surely afford you all a better understanding of modern man, and with it, ideas for improvements and renovations. But more importantly, it shall empower us to together find a way forward.
I hope you're right. Thank you for this lovely gift.
There you have it. I shall remain with the Loporrits to ensure that all is in order. Though we must needs prepare for every eventuality, you would all agree that the evacuation of our star is a last resort. To accept failure is to accept the demise not only of our star, but that of Reen's, of all reflections, and the souls that call them home. Which is why I have every faith that you shall fight to the last, that such drastic measures may prove unnecessary.
Should the worst come to the worst, and I pray deeply that it won't, I'll take comfort in knowing preparations were made under your watchful eye.
Aye, thou mayest be assured that if calamity cometh, not a soul will be left behind, if being the operative term.
Oh, flower time. That flower, how did it come into your possession? How very like her. Guided by this light, you may come to know her true intentions, intentions which remain a mystery even to us. In our time, we called it Ellipsis. That would do well to remember by that name.
I hate to interrupt, but I feel like I need to make amends for all the secrecy.
Think nothing of it. We haven't been the most gracious of guests. Do convey our apologies to Growingway and the others.
Yeah, and their headaches.
But of course! And when next we welcome more guests from Aetheris, we'll have learned to be much more hospitable hosts. Oh, and Circling back to the matter of inappropriate secrecy, we ought to discuss our benefactors.
Agreed. The Charleyan Forum, yes?
What? How did you know?
The more I heard, the more obvious it became. The Forum's aims align closely with those of your anonymous patrons. A telling coincidence would be an understatement. Though had we not taken it upon ourselves to peruse certain restricted tones in Labyrinthos, we might still be unaware of their plans. But let us continue this discussion upon our return. I dare say we have kept Alphino and the others waiting long enough.
All right, let's see what we got. "'Twas a relief see living Zwei, as was pleased with my gift of ink, to serve and serve well, though their knowledge may be lacking, their boundless love a blessing without peer. It will be no easy task to prepare what must be done, but glad to embrace this duty, even if doth necessitate that we part ways for a time. Forgive me my absence, but I have utmost faith in you and all of our fellow scions, that next I return to Aetheris, I pray I find you all in good health and good spirits." But time to return home. With the Loporrits and Urianger capable hands, we needn't worry about the affairs here in our absence. Knowing now the face of their earthly collaborators, there is much to discuss with Alphinaud and the others. Let us return to the Tower of Babel. Our battle for the star will soon begin in earnest, and we must be prepared. Speak with Thancred at the Nether Gate. Hey, what's up, Casey? And the E is silent. Lapis. Lapis. Oh. Completely, like, scroll past it. But where is he? Oh, there he is. Gods, I can seriously believe we went to the moon and back, but we'll have time to reflect on that later. Right now, we need to head Luca back to Camp Broken Glass and deliver a thoroughly detailed report to Lucia. I'd very much like to know how everyone is getting on here as well. I'd only just begun to treat the temper prisoners when we left. I spare your curiosity, but warned our allies of the final days of a greater importance. I speak not of the contingent, of course. The heads of state, every nation must know that what we have learned. I know not when or where the manner of the final days will begin to manifest, but we also must see everyone is prepared. Agreed, though we may wish to stress the importance of discretion, lest the public be sent into a panic. Not that anyone is in a position of responsibility should need be told as much, but it bears repeating. Anyway, the first things first. The Camp Broken Glass. Ugh, that gum yawns, man. Dude, the music in this expansion is ridiculously good. They just continue to level it up. Well, the next part might end up starting in the next stream, just so everybody is aware. Namely because I think I'm gonna take Izzy to see the doctor. She's got a doctor's appointment like at 4:15. So I've got a couple more minutes. We think she has like another ear infection, so it's time for stuff to get real. It's good to see you all again. No worse for your lunar adventure, I hope. We've done what we can for now, and believe me, we intend to tell you all about it. But before we do, might you tell us what's become of Garlemald in our absence? We succeeded in subduing the tempered side of the Tower of Babel. We took many alive, but combined with all those who were ready in our custody, the number requiring care has grown exponentially. The ensealment conditions here have made it difficult, if not impossible, to treat them all here, so we have petitioned aid from the allied nations. Some are understandably hesitant to proffer assistance, particularly those that were but recently subject to the imperial occupation. That said, several others have agreed to grant them refuge for treatment. With the assistance of our fellow scions, the endeavor will see them safely transported and subsequently cured of their tempering. Will all the tempered be relocated? Not all. No, we have sufficient shelter to attend to those. Treatment has begun, and enough healers that have volunteered to remain until their patents have recovered. Jules is one such patient, though he is not yet fit to receive visitors. Truth be told, it was a miracle he and those who in his company were not harmed in the chaos. If not for Alphino and Alizé's timely assistance, I dare say none of them would be with us today. In light of recent developments, has the Alliance leaders come to any decision regarding Garlemald? Given the tremendous ramifications of what's happened here, it will take time to determine what must be done. In the meantime, they intend to work with the Eastern Alliance to keep close watch over the provinces. We have other news to share. Shortly after Anima was defeated, we received reports that each and every tower has vanished. For a mercy, the process was apparently not quite as violent as you'd expect in Thavnir. Those who were trapped within them have been rescued and are receiving treatment. To hasten this endeavor, the beast tribes have received instructions of the magics needed to cure tempering. Master Matoya is no doubt thrilled that Mother Porxie affords her so many visitors. Yes, we are grateful for her and her efforts, as well as those in our comrades near and far. And for the contingent, several of our members have been granted leave to return to their homelands after the transfer of Temperate has been completed. Lucia and I will remain along with a small force to continue offering aid to those here in Garlemald. The Empire may be no more, but there are those who call these lands home. I believe that accounts for all the recent events here, so what of the moon and the Telephroi? So we killed Zodiac and kicked off the final days. So sorry about that, boss. Hey, Ao. The final days, gods, I prayed your victory would mark the end of our troubles. There's still so much we do not know, but the Alliance leaders must be told. Would you be willing to contact them in our stead? Yes, of course, I will send word forthwith. We also have released your fellow scions from their present duties, and then they may return to Charlan. Your energies are better spent finding a means to avert the coming apocalypse. Speaking of your fellow scions, you'll be happy to hear that Mrs. Kryle, though still on the mend, has been moved to the Baldacine Annex and given into Taturu's care. Thank you. I look forward to seeing them both upon your return. Let us be on our way then. Oh, one last thing if I may. After your confrontation with Zodiark, you said Xenos took his leave, and in all likelihood, he has returned here to Garlemald. I have a mind to dispatch scouts to try and ascertain his whereabouts, but first wished to ask if you believed there's still merit in doing so. If they found him, they would not likely live to tell the tale. If you are experiencing a trail of destruction to follow, you won't find one. An admirable but futile endeavor. If they found him, they would live to tell the tale. So, I suppose you're right. To dispatch good soldiers in pursuit of such a beast would be to send them to their deaths. Pray forgive, I entertained the notion. While on the subject of Xenos, the 10th Legion has made an official proclamation. They denounce the Crown Prince and condemn his role in the Empire's downfall. This very title has become a source of shame among his former subjects, and it's continued to use serves only to hinder relations with foreign nations. For this reason, it has been declared as Xenos Viator Galvus, outcast and enemy of Garlemald. And Daniel is no more, and now his own people have turned against him. It seems he's not but a bloodlust to keep him company. Better than any army I see, sated. At any rate, I will not keep you longer. I pray your safe passage back to Charlaine. All right, let's see here. And back to the Baldesian Annex. Yeah. And I love how he's like, so predictable. Oh, you had to help everybody. Oh, you're doing the very thing that you think that, I want you to do, because I expect you to do it. Typical heroes. Actually, a nice weapon coffer. Let's get these gloves. I thought I had I got a helmet, but either way. Welcome back, Bryn. We are so terribly worried about you. Though it is plain I have caused my own fair share of worry, and for that I apologize. Heidelin called to me that day when you entered the Tower of Babel. Her pleas were faint but desperate, and I knew that once she required a vessel to carry out her will. What came after feels like a dream, barely remembered. My body flown through the life stream towards Garlemald. When I regained consciousness, I was all aches and frostbite, exhausted of Aether. So exhausted, in fact, I couldn't only laugh, for it was in that moment I understood Raha's weariness from the Tower of Zot. Would it be that I could laugh at a time like this? Though we prevented Zodiark from being unleashed upon the world, I am curious to know what else took place on the moon. And perhaps we should wait for the others to join before you give your account. Let us reconvene in the main hall once they've arrived. Classic hero, falling for it every time. Sorry to have to keep you all waiting. Not at all. We understand that you've been quite busy. Will Urianshe be joining us? He found some new friends. Duty keeps him away, I'm afraid. Although Bryn can explain why better than I. Can I do my standard? Let me pan up the camera, and now you fully understand. Now you're caught up. That's classic hero work right there. I do speak with my hands like that, so me and Bryn have that in common. The final days have befell Amaro, and we are to escape via the moon. What of the source and his reflections? I have no intention of standing by while the world is falling to ruin. So how do we stop this? Unfortunately, we have no answers at present. If the celestial currents have grown stagnant, as was the case in the time of Amaro, the solution would be to alter the flow of Aether through the entirety of the star. The ancients accomplished this by summoning Zodiark, sacrificing half the star's population in so doing. But it should go without saying that such a sacrifice cannot be repeated, which leaves us with the daunting task of identifying the underlying catalyst for the final days, a feat which even the Amarorians could not accomplish. Unfortunately, we found no clues in Mare Latorium. There still must be much more than we know about the catastrophe itself, let alone what may have caused it. The final days were marked by the corruption of the Amaronians' creation magics, but we command no such power, which invites the question: what havoc is in store for us? If we knew what that much, perhaps we could draw some parallel with these events. So sorry. With events in the past, and thereby in some form of semblance of the plan. Perhaps we should start with the Forum. Then, having worked with the Laporettes in secret all this time, there's more surely that they could tell us. Forgive the interruption, but I have urgent news. The Forum is holding a public assembly at the plaza outside. Some sort of announcement. What's Father up to now? There's only one way to find out. Everybody gets a car. You get a car. You get a car. Bum, bum, bum.
Order! Order, I say! I thank you all for gathering here on such short notice. This day we must speak of grave affairs and their implications for the future of Sharlayan, nay, of this very star. Said affairs concern all citizens, and so we have called for a public assembly. You may have heard rumors of the Talopheroi and the havoc these madmen wreak abroad. Under normal circumstances, we would pay little heed to petty disturbances outside our borders. The final days, however, are another matter altogether. For we dare not ignore these prophetic words of Eld.
Ooh, we're getting the prophecy.
The End-bearers will come, ushering chaos and calamity. The final days descend and devour the very star.
I've never heard this prophecy.
Is it true? Will all that really happen?
Calm yourselves. The time has come to speak of the Forum's most sacred duties.
Yes, finally.
But first...
Give voice to the voiceless. Let bindings be unbound. By unanimous decree, I declare the enchantment broken.
So cool.
Master Leveilleur, if you would.
If you would.
Very well. "270 years ago, our forebears began an expedition in the Dravanian hinterlands, in search of a route to access the ethereal sea. This much is public knowledge. Their findings, however, would become the Forum's most closely guarded secret. What those researchers discovered in the hinterlands was not a passage unto the ethereal sea, but the very heart of our star, and Hydaelyn herself. She spoke to them of a calamity that would extinguish all life, and of a means by which we might be spared. The moon. 'Tis in truth a gargantuan vessel built to serve as sanctuary for her children and deliver them from this doom. Much like Nunkref's hope in ages past, it will bear the people of a world in the throes of death to a new home.
Needless to say, this will be no small undertaking.
To facilitate the great work, the Forum has maintained close contact with the servants of Hydaelyn, who presently reside on the moon. Convinced that the foretold end was all but inevitable, we began amassing a wealth of knowledge, not merely for the betterment of our nation, but in preparation for the journey to come.
Okay.
You reveal this to us now? By the gods, how long do we have?
While we cannot say with certainty, we believe the hour to be nigh. We received a transmission from the moon suggesting as much not long ago. Which is why we must in earnest begin preparations for the great Exodus. For his impressive contributions and the leadership he demonstrated during our withdrawal from Dravania, we have elected Master Leveilleur to oversee this initiative.
Interesting.
Fellow scribes and scholars, my countrymen, we face a threat of unprecedented scale. We must challenge the trials before us with composure and conviction if we are to find salvation. The wisdom of Sharlayan has ever been a shining beacon in the darkness, and so it shall continue to be. It is our solemn charge to see our heritage preserved for future generations. For those who will come after, we will brave a new frontier.
Administrative edicts will be relayed to all major institutions ere long. In the meantime, carry on with your duties. With that, I hereby call this assembly to a close.
Yeah, carry on with your duties. Carry on with your duties. Okay. I can't come into work this week, boss. Like, it's final days. You get it. Hey, what's going on, Chris?
Do you remember what Mother told us when we visited home? That it wasn't until after we were born that Father seemed to lose himself in his work. If that great work of his was the evacuation of this star, then...
Yes. It wasn't for his benefit. Would you mind waiting here a moment? I wish to speak with Father before we leave.
Take your time. Take your time.
Thank you. I shan't be long.
If it's all the same to you, I have a few choice words to share with Father as well.
So, come to call us cowards and bid us join your fruitless battle against the inevitable.
Nay, we do not object to the Forum's proposal. On the contrary, those who wish to flee have every right to do so. Urianger is cooperating with your associates on the moon to ensure that all is ready should evacuation be our only recourse.
Then whatever your business, I suggest you be brief.
Though we cannot boast the boundless wisdom of Sharlayan, we have first-hand knowledge of foreign cultures, and have conversed with no small number of peoples. These experiences have taught us fundamental truths that cannot be recorded in any tome, nor charted on any map. The beating heart of this planet is its people, many of whom would give anything, even their lives, to protect the lands they love. Many may choose to join you in the end. But what of those unwilling or unable, for whom escape will never be an option? What would you have them do? To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, Father. It is indolence. This is why we choose to fight.
We'll not ask for your understanding, Father. Only that you don't turn a blind eye to the good we have done. That we can still do. We're not children in need of protection. Hold fast to your principles and let the world burn if it please. But we believe there is still another way. And if there is, we will find it. You see if we don't.
Do as you will. Just stay out of our way.
All right, everything getting, cards are on the table.
Were he not so consumed with self-righteousness, he might tell you how proud he is of you both.
Bold words call for bold action, and there'll be no turning to your father should plans go awry.
As if I ever would. So long as there are those who wish to stay and fight for this star, we have to do what we can to help them.
And if we're to do that, we'll need to be well rested. Wouldn't you agree? And having triumphed over what we once thought to be the source of all evil, I can think of no one in greater need of at least a dozen winks.
Shall we then? To the Annex, to prepare for tomorrow.
All right, there we go. See here. To the Annex. Oh, look at the golden elephant. All right, Chris, when are you getting that glam? And for what role? Oh my gosh. Oh, this is literally a stopping point right this second. I have to take Izzy to the doctor. Julie's like, hey, you have an hour and a half. You want to play? And I'm like, yeah, I want to play. I want to get off this moon. Crowd tells him the forum made the rather momentous announcement, so there is going to be a great exodus. I'm reminded of my narrow escape to the Isle of Vale and the realization, the running of a mixture of relief and regret after why me. I ask myself, why me? Why us? Why now? Why wonder? There's no use fretting over the cosmic morality, the lack thereof. We are here and we'll get through this together. But who knows, maybe my luck will rub off and will grant everyone a narrow escape. There's no harm in praying for as much. Oh, but enough of my rambling. I'm sure you're exhausted. Your chamber awaits. I'm going to say no in case there's a long cutscene, and I'll have to pick that up right at the next time I play. All right, guys, thanks for being here. I know this was just kind of like an impromptu, getting off that moon back into the, I guess, the core story of it. Thanks everybody for hanging out. I will see you guys. Who knows? It could be tonight, could be tomorrow. Honestly, all cards are on the table. So love you guys. If I don't see you, if I don't stream